Can your facial anatomy handle 4.5 millimeters? I get that it's not the sort of question that you normally think about asking yourself when it comes to choosing a home skin tightening device. But if you're thinking about investing in a home Hifu device, it's the difference between preserving your facial fat pads or accidentally aging yourself by depleting them. While the beauty industry races to bring the best professional treatments into our homes, one crucial detail keeps getting overlooked. Facial anatomy is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Now, I highlighted this in my last video, which focused on the Medicube High Focus Shot device, and a few sensitive viewers out there refused to believe that science and anatomy are real things, lol, and decided to personally attack me in the comments rather than seeing it as an opportunity to learn, to grow their pea brains just a little bit more, and ultimately make smarter and more sensible choices when it comes to skin rejuvenation. Now, in my last video, which basically used the Medicube High Focus Shot as the example device, I highlighted why 4.5 millimeters is not the best option when it comes to facial rejuvenation. And today I'm going to be showing you guys why depth adjustability isn't just a fancy feature, it's essential for safe and effective treatments, especially when you're doing them in the comfort of your own home. So if you caught my past video of the Medicube High Focus Shot device, you'll know that I have immense respect for what they've achieved. They have genuinely revolutionized access to a lot of pro-grade technology, bringing professional grade treatments into our homes. But after months of research, countless conversations with aesthetic practitioners, and deep dives into facial anatomy studies, I identified some crucial limitations that we needed to discuss. See, the fixed 4.5 millimeter depth of the Medicube High Focus Shot isn't just a technical specification. It's a critical consideration that has an impact on the effectiveness of a device. But let me explain why that actually matters. Okay, so obviously the surface of the face, it's looking pretty basic. But beneath the surface, it's incredibly complex. And I'm going to take you on a journey through each of the layers, explaining exactly what's going on at each of the different depths. Because understanding this is crucial for anyone that wants to use either of these. So at 0.1 millimeters, we have the uppermost layer, which is the epidermis, and this is the protective layer. It basically acts as a barrier preventing external pathogens and nasties and anything from the outside getting in. It also houses melanocytes, which are responsible for pigmentation, as well as the cells for skin renewal. Now, this layer is far too superficial for any Hifu treatments to actually have any impact on them. Likewise, radiofrequency is going to be pretty ineffective on this layer. But when it comes to skin treatments, obviously the epidermis is the barrier that protects anything externally from making its way in. So you can use things like electroporation, microneedling, things like that to kind of create little microchannels in the skin to help those actives in your skincare penetrate deeper. But when it comes to devices, there's not really much that you can do device-wise for this uppermost layer. Next up, we have the superficial dermis. Now, the superficial dermis is the uppermost part of the dermis, and it's approximately 1.5 to 2 millimeters deep. Now, in the superficial dermis, you're going to find a lot of type 1 and type 3 collagen. This layer is also home to some of the more fine and superficial blood vessels and nerve endings. Now, when it comes to skin tightening treatments, this is one of the primary areas that we will focus on, whether it's with radiofrequency skin tightening, whether it's Hifu, whether it's collagen induction therapy. This layer is critical when it comes to skin texture improvement. It also just so happens to be the layer where you're going to find those first visible signs of aging taking place. Now, at 4.5 millimeters, the Medicube High Focus Shot isn't going to really do much for this layer, but with the portable Mini Hifu 7D, you're actually going to be able to target this layer with the 2mm cartridge. And seeing that most of the superficial fat pads within the face are found deeper than 2mm within the skin, this cartridge is actually safe to use across the entire face. The next layer that we have is the deep dermis, and this starts at around about 3mm beneath the surface of the skin. This layer contains robust collagen and elastin fibers. It's where you're going to find the sweat glands, it's where you're going to find larger blood vessels, and it is a key zone when it comes to overall facial rejuvenation, skin tightening, lifting, and collagen production. Now, at 3mm, there is minimal risk to the superficial fat pads within the face, and it's also the optimal depth for collagen stimulation. It's within this layer and targeting this layer that you are going to notice long-term structural changes when it comes to your collagen levels and your elastin. and it can be targeted perfectly with the 3mm cartridge for the 7D Mini Hifu device. So we can treat the superficial dermis with the 2mm cartridge, we can target the deep dermis with the 3mm cartridge, and then we have the SMAS layer. Now the SMAS layer is what the Medicube High Focus Shot device is designed to target. Now the superficial muscular aponeurotic layer, or the SMAS layer, is primarily what the Medicube High Focus Shot is designed to treat. And this is actually the same layer that's targeted in surgical facelifts. Both above and beneath this SMAS layer, you are going to find fat pads. You have got your superficial fat pads, which are going to be resting above the SMAS layer, and then you've got your deeper fat pads, which are going to be found beneath it. And why I highlighted in my last video why there are certain areas within the face that you just want to be avoiding. There's a lot going on under the surface, but obviously with precise and targeted tightening of the SMAS layer, you can really make huge differences to the way that your face looks, because essentially the SMAS layer is what everything above it is attached to. So if you can elevate the SMAS layer, you can elevate everything on top of it. And that's where something like the Medicube High Focus Shot really comes into play. But of course, not to be outdone, the Mini Hifu 7D portable device also comes with a 4.5mm cartridge, which means that with this one device, you can take care of your SMAS layer at 4.5mm, you can take care of your deep dermis at 3mm, you can take care of your superficial dermis at 2mm. This also means that this is highly flexible and allows you to create custom treatment plans for your own unique needs and your own anatomy. And obviously, anatomy, as I keep saying, is super important, which is why we're going to take a quick look at the Korean context. Okay, so here is something that I find really fascinating that rarely gets discussed. The Medicube High Focus Shot, much like most Korean skincare devices on the market, has been developed for and tested primarily on Korean facial anatomy. But this isn't just an interesting detail, it's fundamental to understanding the device's design choices. Okay, first up, and this is pretty big. Asian skin is generally considered to have a thicker dermis, or the inner layer of skin, when compared to other ethnicities, which means that the overall skin structure can appear thicker due to a higher level of collagen and elastin. In turn, this contributes to slower aging, smaller and more refined pores, that glass skin that you see all over the internet, sorry, is genetic, and a smoother, less wrinkled look. Now this is marketing heaven for Korean skincare brands, but a little disappointing for those of us who don't have that genetically thicker dermis. Obviously beneath the thicker skin layer you also have differences in bone structure, in the way that the muscles lay across the bones. All of these things help to determine how smooth skin looks, how tight it is, how long it stays lifted for. But with genetics aside, there's also the aesthetic goals. And these vary from region to region, country to country, and person to person. But generally in South Korea, there are aesthetic preferences for slimmer and smaller facial contours with the V-line jaw, a desire to get rid of chubby cheeks and buccal fat, so eliminating facial fat, because the peanut look is not popular. And here's the kicker, what works beautifully for one facial structure could potentially be really aging for another. This isn't about better or worse. This is about understanding that different ethnic backgrounds come with different anatomical considerations. And this means that the different ways you treat or target specific areas of the face are also going to be different. Okay, so instead of a one depth fits all solution, the Mini Hifu 7D offers 3 precisely calibrated cartridges, each designed for different facial zones, skin depths, and skin concerns. The 2mm cartridge is made for treating those more delicate areas, particularly when it comes to the forehead lines, the crow's feet, and around the eyes. And this shallow depth ensures perfect targeting for visible results while maintaining safety. And this one is going to deliver immediate improvements in the skin texture. Then we have the 3mm cartridge. And this represents what I consider the sweet spot when it comes to facial rejuvenation. By targeting the deep dermal layers, it achieves remarkable skin tightening without really having any impact on those superficial fat pads. You're not going to notice an overnight transformation at 3mm, but you will start to notice gradual improvements after just 2 weeks. And by week 6, you're really going to start noticing these results ramping up. Now this makes the 3mm cartridge really valuable when it comes to preventative treatments, helping to maintain the skin quality and delaying the visible signs of aging. And then lastly, we have the 4.5mm cartridge, which is going to be targeting the SMAS layer. This is the same depth that the Medicube High Focus Shot targets, and both of these are basically venturing into more professional territory. At this depth, it's about treating really targeted and specific areas within the face and not treating the entire face. By doing this, what you're going to do is you are really going to be maximizing the kind of lift that you can get with a home use device. And the lower face responds particularly well to the 4.5mm cartridge, especially along the jawline where laxity often appears first. Now, while this depth can provide more drastic and long-lasting results, it requires more of an understanding of the underlying facial anatomy and careful attention to treatment protocols. Just like with MFU, Hifu's effectiveness lies in its ability to generate heat in very specific layers of the skin. See, when the ultrasound waves travel through the skin, they concentrate at very specific focal points. And these focal points create thermal coagulation zones, which in turn achieve temperatures of between 65 and 75 degrees Celsius. Ouch. Now, this controlled heating triggers immediate collagen contraction while initiating neocollagenesis and tissue remodeling. Now, at 2mm, this translates to enhanced skin density and refined texture, with improvements in pore appearance and gradual lifting that increases over time. The 3mm cartridge achieves deep dermal remodeling, increasing skin elasticity and firmness, with results that develop naturally over the following weeks. And then at 4.5mm deep, we're creating structural changes within the SMAS layer, providing maximum lifting potential and long-term tissue remodeling that mirrors the kind of results that you can see with professional grade treatments. Now, obviously, it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't go ahead and show you guys how I use this device. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what I'm doing, then we're going to fast forward through each of the bits just so that you can kind of see me using it. But I will do a full how I use this device video in the future. Okay, so as you can see in this box, you have got the mini Hifu 7D device, you have got the extra cartridges, you've also got the accessories that come with it. To remove the cartridge head off of the device, you simply slide it off and you can replace it with the device of your choice. Like I said, you've got your 3 depths, you've got your 2mm, 3mm, 4.5mm, and here's how you fill the cartridges. Now, when the cartridges arrive, they arrive empty. So what you're going to need to do is fill them with distilled water. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to take the yellow sticker tip, which is going to cover the seal or the opening at the end of the device. You're going to remove the little plug from the side of the cartridge tip, and then we're going to fill this with water until it's completely full. In total, this took around about 4.5 of these syringes. Once it's fully full, what I do is I take the little plug, I stick it in the hole, and that seals it completely. And then the final thing that I need to do is remove the film layer off of the very top of the yellow sticker surface. And this is going to help make sure that the frequency is able to penetrate all the way through. Then, just to verify that I have filled it correctly and to make sure that the frequency is working, I do a quick water test, which, as you can see here, the water is firing away like a pro. And now it's good to be used. So the Medicube High Focus Shot comes with 5 intensity levels, whereas the Mini Hifu 7D comes with 9 intensity levels. Each of the cartridges provides 5,000 shots, with each shot consisting of 12 pulses. Now obviously at 4.5mm there are a lot of areas that I don't treat on my face with the High Focus Shot. There are the upper cheeks because I don't want to be eating into my superficial fat pads. There's over the temples because a lot of vasculature and nerves around this area. Also across the forehead again. At 4.5mm I'm pretty much getting onto the bone around this kind of area. It's very sensitive. There's a lot of blood vessels in this area. There's a lot of nerves in this area. This one is also not used on or around the nose, around the upper lip area, around the lower lip, on the chin. Basically the whole center line of the face is off limits, and likewise on the neck, center line, off limits. But that doesn't mean that you can't achieve beautiful lift and contouring with this device. It's just all about knowing where to use it and where not to. Now with the Mini Hifu 7D Portable, this obviously goes at 3 different depths. At 2mm you can treat across pretty much the entire face. It's safe to use around the eye area. Now obviously being a Hifu frequency you need a conductive gel. And then I'm going to start off with the lowest level first, the 2mm first. So I've got the 3mm cartridge on at the moment. I'm going to pop the 2mm on. So this all lines up perfectly in here. You can't put this on wrong. I'm going to push it on. Just going to choose my shots. I want it to be on automatic. So if you push and hold, you'll get one beep. This will be more of a manual shot, so it will fire for the 12 shots and you have to push again to fire the next 12. If you push and hold again, so that the shots word on the screen is flashing, that means that it is now set to auto mode, so it will continue firing automatically. Intensity, I'm going to go for a level 6. I don't need to go any higher than that really. Power it on and we're firing. And then for each, it runs for 10 shots, 10 pulses. And then up. Now I'm not going above the orbital rim, just following around the bone. Now I don't recommend that you copy me with doing the brow area like this. This is just how I personally do it. Really, you should go above the eyebrow. But as I'm elevating and bringing it up over the bone, it's not too much of an issue for me. Okay, I'm just going to shoot for and do the other side now. That full face area took 102 shots, so that is like 1020 in total across the full face. There's still 4,998 shots on here. That's a lot of facial treatment. So now that I've done the 2mm, what I'm going to do now is my 3mm. Now there are some no-go zones with the 3mm, which you'll see when I'm doing this. So just change this out. 3mm. Now my skin is starting to dry out, so I'm just going to mist it with some water. Then the last one we're going to be doing is the 4.5mm. Now I just use this for really targeted and strategically placed points. I'm just going to locate under the cheekbone. I'm going to fire along here. Going to work around the mid part of the cheek. There will be a little bit of skin elevation above the jawline. That's pretty much it. Oh, that's better. So fingers whipped from the corner of the mouth down. I'm not treating over there. It's above the jawbone and upwards, and then back down. And honestly, it's so targeted to my unique anatomy. I'm able to make sure that I am not melting or eating into my superficial fat pads. I'm able to give myself lift where I need lift, collagen boosts where I need collagen boosts, and a little bit of help where I need a little bit of help. Now the way that I use this device is pretty much the way that I would use any of my Hifu devices. For the 2mm cartridge, I can use that one twice a week if I wanted to, because it's so superficial. It's really not going to be doing much in the way of any damage or destruction to the superficial fat pads. But I would only use it once or twice a week for the first 6 weeks. It's like with anything that I do with heat-based treatments that are stimulating collagen, because you kind of want that collagen to be able to kind of kick in and get to work and work its magic without breaking it down constantly. So for the first 6 weeks, I would use my 2mm cartridge, my 3mm cartridge, and my 4.5mm cartridge once a week, twice at the most for the lower levels. Then after 6 weeks, I would switch it to once every 2 weeks. And I would do that again for a further 6 sessions. And then after that, I will move on to maintenance. I should be well and truly in maintenance mode by then, which means 1 treatment every 6 weeks. So as you would have seen from that video, for the 4.5 cartridge, it's pretty much the same as with the high focus shot device, that I focus from the lower and mid cheek only and along the jawline. For the 3mm cartridge, I can cover jawline, lower cheek, mid cheek, upper cheek. Can also work across the forehead and kind of around over the temples, no issues whatsoever. For the 2mm, full face is fine, especially around the eyes, as long as you're not going over into the soft tissue area above the orbital rim or beneath the orbital rim, depending on whether you're treating from above or below, you're going to be golden. And when it comes to the results, these typically unfold in stages. It begins with the initial tightening and texture improvements over the first 48 hours. Then the early phase, or weeks 2 and 3, bring reduced lines, enhanced texture, and improved firmness. And then those peak results are going to start coming in at around about 6 to 12 weeks. This is when the collagen remodeling is going to be kind of completing, delivering maximum lift and more refined facial contours. And then, like I said, maintenance is pretty straightforward. You can go from monthly to every 6 weeks, rotating the depths as and when you feel necessary. Now, obviously, Hifu isn't for everyone, and the people that are going to benefit the most are those with mild to moderate skin laxity, especially in the lower face. Those who are kind of looking at maintaining the results of their professional treatments, or taking the time to achieve those professional results themselves at the comfort of their own home. It's also great for those looking for preventative skin tightening treatments, but like I said, it's not suitable for everyone. Really, you want to avoid using treatments like Hifu or MFU if you've got severe acne or active skin infections, if you've got any autoimmune skin conditions, if you use blood thinners, or if you've got any metal implants in the treatment areas. So at the start of this video, I asked you, could your face handle 4.5mm? That was the big question, and now you know it's not all about blasting your face with a solid 4.5mm from edge to edge. It's about actually treating your face at the depths and intensity that each specific area needs to be treated. The Medicube High Focus Shot tries, but the Mini Hifu 7D Portable gets it so right by giving you those 3 different depth options: 2mm, 3mm, and 4.5mm. It's not rocket science, it's just smart design, even if it does look slightly dodgy. Because ultimately, what matters the most when it comes to performing at-home skin tightening treatments is about getting proper results without wrecking your face in the process. Having the right depth for the right area means that you can achieve maximum collagen and elastin production, you can achieve maximum lift, tightening and toning, and more importantly, be able to maintain those results safely without eating into your facial fat. If you own this already, it's a great device and you are going to be able to use it or combine it with other treatment options and home use devices that are going to give you great results. But it also highlights one thing to remember, that the facial thickness isn't one uniform depth, meaning your Hifu treatment shouldn't be either. And if you don't already own this one, I would nudge you to take a closer look at this one because it's superior. If you've got any questions about the Medicube High Focus Shot MFU device or the Mini Hifu 7D Portable device, or about Hifu as a treatment or anything else that I do across my channel, the comments are now open, so feel free to get the conversation started. If you're still with me at this point in the video, thank you so much. You are one of those rare beauties that owns a little bit of my heart. And before you go, if you could give this video a like, super appreciate it. And yeah, that's about it. I hope that your day is as beautiful as you are and that you have the best week ever. And I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. So till then, TJ over and out.